drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGON, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Kool FM. You are listening to Kool FM. Live from Kool Studios. This is koolNews at 4.
Good afternoon and welcome to koolNews at 4. I'm Karen, and let's get into the headlines as the sister and business associate of dismissed Bambang Mayor Alice Guo have been arrested in Indonesia, Interior Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr. said on Thursday. Abalos said this was relayed to him Wednesday night by Philippine National Police PNP Chief General Romel Marbel. As for Alice Guo, I received a report last night from PNP that 2 of her companions are now detained in Indonesia, Abalos said in an embattled interview in Pasay. PNP spokesperson Colonel Juan Farjado said Sheila Guo and Cassandra Leong, Guo's sister and business associate, respectively, were arrested in Indonesia on Wednesday at 6:45 a.m. Whirlwind Corporation leased a land in Porac, Pampanga to Luck Resort 99, which operated a Philippine offshore gaming operator or POGO. Abalos initially said the identities of Guo's companions were confirmed, but their names are withheld. The 2 were arrested through the efforts of the Philippines police attaché in Indonesia, according to him. He added that the police attaché is continuously coordinating with Indonesian authorities. Guo has been reportedly out of the country since July 18, according to Senator Risa Hontiveros, but the mayor's camp insisted she is still in the country. The former mayor, who has been the subject of scrutiny over her alleged ties to the Philippine offshore gaming operators in Papang Town, was found to own a helicopter, according to documents gathered by Hontiveros' office. An immigration lookout bulletin order was issued by the Bureau of Immigration against Guo last June, but PNP spokesperson Colonel Juan Farjado said only a court-issued departure order could prevent Guo from leaving the country. Malacanan has ordered the Department of Foreign Affairs and the Department of Justice to revoke the Philippine passport of Guo. Sheila Guo, the sister of dismissed Bambang Mayor Alice Guo, will be arrested by the Senate's Sergeant-at-Arms as soon as she is repatriated to the Philippines. Senate President Chis Escudero confirmed the matter to reporters in a text message on Thursday. General Angkan is now coordinating with Manila International Airport Authority for the service of the order of arrest of Sheila upon her repatriation, said Escudero. As for Guo's business associate Cassandra Ong, Escudero said they are still coordinating with the staff of Senator Risa Hontiveros for a possible contempt citation and disposition of Senator Wins Gatchalian pending motion to cite her in contempt. Escudero, however, noted that the House of Representatives has an outstanding warrant for all. In a separate statement posted on his Facebook page, Senator Rafi Tulfo said Ong and Guo are set to arrive in the Philippines at 5:05 p.m. Thursday via Philippine Airlines Flight PR540 from Jakarta, Indonesia. Tulfo said the plane will land at Naya Terminal 1, adding that the 2 were picked up by officials from the Philippines Bureau of Immigration at Indonesian Immigration. Sheila Guo and Cassandra Ong were caught at Mecca Mall Batam Center, a mall in Rio, Indonesia on August 20. When the 2 were searched by Indonesian immigration, Alice Guo was not included and was believed to have escaped. Due to the intelligence data sharing, the Philippine Bureau of Immigration wrote to the Indonesian immigration and requested to keep an eye on the 3, and if they are caught, they will be immediately informed and turned over to them. On August 20, when Sheila and Cassandra were caught, the Indonesian authorities immediately informed the Philippine Bureau of Immigration. Dismissed Bambang Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo was spotted at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia based on a photo released by the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission (PAOCC) on Thursday. Although it is unclear when the image was taken, PAOCC Undersecretary Gilbert Cruz said they received an image from a concerned citizen who saw Guo arrive in Kuala Lumpur. PAOCC received a photo from a concerned citizen who happened to click a picture of dismissed Bambang Mayor Guo Huaping when she arrived in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia via Jetstar Asia Airways 686. The said flight originated from Denpasar, Bali, Cruz said in a statement sent to Inquirer.net. This picture confirms initial reports received by PAOCC from its counterparts that Guo Huapeng fled to Indonesia initially and then landed in Kuala Lumpur. Latest reports indicate that she landed in Batam, Indonesia last August 18, 2024, he added. Earlier Thursday, Department of the Interior and Local Government DILG Chief Benjamin Abols Jr. reported that the former mayor's sister, Sheila Guo, and one of her companions, Cassandra Ong, were already detained in Indonesia. Dismissed Pampang Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo's sister and her companion, who were detained in Indonesia, will be sent back to the country. The two persons may be detained in the Senate. This development was announced by Philippine National Police spokesperson Colonel Juan Farjado on Thursday. Alice Guo's sister Sheila Guo, as well as her business associate Cassandra Leong, were detained in Indonesia on Wednesday morning, according to Farjado. As a matter of course, they will be repatriated here in the Philippines, Farjado said in a press briefing. When asked on the date of the return to the Philippines, Farjado said, "I am not at liberty to discuss it right now." Sheila and Ong may be detained in the Senate once they are sent back to the country. One of the possibilities is it-turned over sila sa Senate since enforced and effect pa ang warrant of arrest na issued ng Senate, Farjado also said. The passports of dismissed Pampang Tarlac Mayor Alice Guo and her companions, who reportedly left the country last month, cannot be instantly revoked, Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla said on Thursday. He explained that canceling their passports will pose a conflict if they were ordered to return to the Philippines. "We cannot summarily cancel the passport because it is a document vested with rights," said Remulla in an ambushed interview at the Department of Justice. Now, it was found not advisable also to treat it summarily because if the passports are cancelled immediately, then how can you make them travel back to the country? He continued. The questions on passport cancellation arise from a memorandum issued by Executive Secretary Lucas Pasamin on Wednesday ordering the revocation of Guo's passport, as well as those of Wesley Guo, Sheila Guo, and Cassandra Ong. In the memorandum, Pasamin cited reports of Guo fleeing the country using her Philippine passport to Malaysia, then meeting her family in Singapore before traveling to Indonesia. In the interview, Remulla also said that the order must be followed despite the trickiness of this situation. Now let's get into the rest of the headlines. Former President Rodrigo Duterte's enemies are using convicted felons to carry out a demolition job, his former spokesperson Salvador Panalo said Thursday. Panalo stressed in a statement sent to reporters that these convicts may only be saying unfavorable things against Duterte and his family members to obtain favors regarding their case. He also said that these prisoners have nothing to lose since they are jailed for life. The demolition job on the Dutertes is in full swing, Panalo said. The enemies of FPRRD or Duterte are using convicted felons of murders and drug trafficking to link him to the murders of the 3 Chinese detainees, of which they were the perpetrators on the basis of their bare allegations. Obviously, they are making those statements for our consideration. If it is true that, as they say, that they killed the three Chinese in exchange for money and release from prison, necessarily they can lie upon FRRRD's Duterte's alleged link to the murders for the same consideration of money and freedom coming from those who want to destroy the Dutertes, he added. Panalo's statements came after Leopoldo Tan, one of the 2 individuals who were convicted for the killing of Chinese nationals Chu Tin-tun, Jackson Lee, and Peter Wang, inside of a panel and prison formed in August 2016, claimed that it was former President Duterte who ordered the hit. According to Tan, he heard Bureau of Corrections Polar official Superintendent Garado Padilla talk to a person over the phone after the alleged kill order was carried out, and the person even congratulated the jail officer. Tan said he knew from the voice of the person who called Padilla that he was Duterte. While we were walking to the investigation section, Superintendent Padilla's phone rang. I saw that he pressed his cell phone. I heard the person who called Superintendent Padilla say, "Congrats, Superintendent Padilla, job well done." But what's done was Bureau, they turned it into blood soup, Tan said, reading his sworn affidavit before the court meeting hearing Thursday. I knew that Superintendent Padilla was talking to President Duterte because his voice is familiar. After the call, Superintendent Padilla told his colleagues, the president called, he congratulated me. Because of what Superintendent Padilla said, I was even more convinced that it was President Duterte who called, he added. Tan said he and a certain Fernando Magdadaro were promised 1 million pesos each and the freedom in exchange for killing the three jailed Chinese nationals. Tan and Magdadaro were already inmates when allegedly hired to kill the foreigners. Currently, Tan and Magdadaro are detained at the Philippine Military Academy Support Company. During the first court committee hearing on August 16, former Bureau of Customs Intelligence Officer Jimmy Guban claimed that Undersecretary Benny Antiporda sent emissaries in 2018 to warn him that he will die if he attacks Davao City 1st District Representative Duterte. Attorney Manassas Carpio, husband of incumbent Vice President Sara Duterte, and former Economic Advisor Michael Yang in the shipment of illegal drugs in 2018. Representative Duterte and Antiporda have separately denied Guban's accusations. According to Representative Duterte, he has never met Guban, adding that the ex-Bureau of Customs official cannot be treated as a star witness as he is not credible, having been cited for contempt for lying at the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. Guban is facing life imprisonment for drug importation. Also on Thursday, another spokesperson of Duterte, Antonio Harry Roque, said the hearings in Congress tackling illegal drugs, extrajudicial killings, and other issues during the administration of ex-President Duterte have no probative value. Res inter alos acta, no probative value, he said. Still to come on koolNews at 4, Duterte urged again to attend House prop amid new serious allegations. Sample sa kadila, Escudero hits PNP's failure to arrest Kibuloy. Tools to measure Philippine poverty needs to be updated according to NEDA. Free public Wi-Fi program gets extra 3.681 billion pesos according to the Department of Budget and Management. And in international headlines, from blind date to first gentleman, Kalaman's husband woos Chicago. It is now 4:12 in the afternoon, and koolNews at 4 will be right back. Welcome back to Police at 4. Former President Rodrigo Duterte was again urged to attend the House of Representatives Court Committee hearing after a human claimed that he ordered the killing of 3 Chinese nationals in August 2016. At the second hearing of the four-panel body on Thursday, Senator Deputy Speaker and Pampanga 2 District Representative Aurelio Gonzalez Jr. asked that Duterte be invited to the next session so that his side will be heard regarding the grave accusations of Leopoldo Dan, who is currently in jail for the killing of Chu King Tun, Jackson Lee, and Peter Wan inside the Davao Panel and Prison 4. In this light of these very serious and sensitive developments, may I move, in the interest of fairness, may I move to invite the former president to hear his side on this matter? I rest my case, Mr. Chairman, Gonzalez said in his motion. There is a motion to invite the former president to shed light on the issue raised before this committee. In the spirit of fairness, is there any second? Duly second, and hearing no objections, the motion is carried, said Surigao del Norte's 1st District Representative Robert A. Sparvers, presider of the Quad Committee hearing. Gonzalez made the motion after he asked Tan to repeat the sentiments he altered as stated in his affidavit. According to Tan, he and the Sergeant Fernando Macdadaro were asked to kill the 3 jailed Chinese nationals. Tan and Macdadaro are currently detained at the Philippine Military Academy's support company. Tan also claimed that Bureau of Corrections Bogor official Superintendent Gerardo Pradilla also talked to a person over the phone after the alleged kill order was carried out, and the person even congratulated the jail officer. Tan identified the person who congratulated Padilla as former President Duterte. While we were walking to the... Yeah, we already read that one earlier. But yeah. Senate President Francis Escudero on Thursday said the Philippine National Police failure to arrest Kingdom of Jesus Christ leader Apollo Kibuloy is a slap in the face. It's already quite embarrassing for the for the Philippine National Police, because this is one of the major cases that is known throughout the country, and it's like a slap in the face for them that until now they could not implement the warrant of arrest against 4 individuals since one of them has already been arrested, as Escudero said over Radio 630. Kibuloy and 5 others were ordered arrested in April by 2 separate courts in Davao and Pasig for alleged sexual abuse and qualified human trafficking. It has also been 6 months since the Senate ordered in March the arrest of Kibuloy for his refusal to face the Chambers Committee on Women's probe into the same allegations and other human rights abuses leveled against him. Of the 6 individuals arrested by the courts, Escudero noted that one was only arrested at home. He said the chief was referring to Pauline Canada, who was arrested in her home in Davao City July 11. My question is, are they really looking for him, Kibuloy? Is there any effort, action, or serious pursuit? Because why was Canada found at her home living a seemingly normal life? He asked. Escudero, however, still believes that many PNP officials are doing their best to arrest Kibuloy, though it's just taking too long. And if they are questioning Kibuloy's security, then what if everyone with an arrest warrant says that they will only surrender when their safety is assured? It will be difficult to enforce our justice system if that happens, Escudero said. The country's statistics agency has admitted that the daily poverty threshold of 63.87 pesos per person a day is insufficient, adding that it will review the methodology for calculating poverty and food thresholds next year. The National Economic and Development Authority NEDA clarified what it called the recent misconceptions surrounding the food and poverty thresholds arising from the agency's estimate that 64 pesos per day for 3 meals is considered sufficient to avoid being classified as food poor. These thresholds serve as part of a broader set of tools used to assess the country's development progress and to measure the effectiveness of the government's policies and programs in addressing poverty, NANDA Secretary Arsenio Balisacan said in the August 16th statement. They are not, and were never intended to be, prescribed budgets for a decent standard of living. They do not dictate how much a family should spend on food, nor do they provide an idea of a desirable household budget Balisacan added. This statement came after Balisacan mentioned during the Senate hearing on the 2025 national budget that the monthly food threshold for a family of 5 is 9,581 pesos, which breaks down to approximately 64 pesos per person. In response, various groups and officials slammed Neto's poverty measure as disconnected from the actual experiences of Filipinos and do not accurately reflect the reality. Part of the government's role is to measure and monitor the trend of poverty over the years. This task requires us to develop a consistent survey methodology patterned after international standards. Hence, using this threshold, said Balisacan in defense. The NETA had previously cited the need to revisit the prescribed food bundle to ensure that it accurately reflects the commonly consumed food of Filipinos. Meanwhile, the Philippine Statistics Authority (PSA) on Thursday also agreed that the food threshold per person a day is insufficient, saying that it will review the methodology for calculating poverty and food thresholds next year. The schedule adjustment was initially planned for 2021 but was postponed due to the pandemic. It's really insufficient, but the way we set up the food threshold and the poverty threshold is the minimum basic needs, so it's the least cost, said National Statistician Clary Dennis Mapa. And the government's free public Wi-Fi program was given an additional 3.681 billion pesos, according to the Department of Budget and Management. The DBM explained that the fund was already released to the Department of Information and Communications Technology to continue the implementation of the Free Public Internet Access Program nationwide. Tuloy na tuloy po ang ating free Wi-Fi program. By approving this additional project within our calibrated fiscal program, we reaffirm our commitment to prioritizing inclusive and accessible internet for all, Budget Secretary Amanda Pangadaman said in a statement Thursday. The 3.681 billion pesos is an allocation added to the 2.5 billion peso fund already released for the FPIAP for fiscal year 2024. The DBM said the extra funding came from the special account in the general fund for the FPIAP under the current year. The government said the free Wi-Fi program is expected to build and maintain information and communication technology infrastructures such as towers, data centers, and internet connections to provide and sustain reliable internet connectivity in public areas. The additional fund aims to aid 13,462 access points in different locations in the country. Pangadaman urged the DICT to immediately proceed with the program implementation. We do understand that our fellow countrymen needs this. With the budget release, we are hopeful that the DICT can proceed swiftly with the fund disbursement and expedite the program's implementation, she noted. In his third State of the Nation address, SONA, last month, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. voted to support common towers to provide internet connectivity for Filipinos as he touted the progress of the National Fiber Backbone program. Expect full government support to ensure the successful completion of this critical project, including policy reforms and streamlined processes, he said. The president also mentioned in his sonnet that 77% or 20.6 million Filipino households connected to the internet as of 2022, which he said is very much too low. And finally, getting into the headlines from around the world, he met Kamala Harris on a blind date, and on Tuesday, her husband Doug Emhoff tried to convince Americans to love her too after an equally whirlwind introduction. The first second gentleman in U.S. history ruled the Democratic National Convention in Chicago with a speech that highlighted the human side of the party's presidential nominee. Delegates chanted talk as the 59-year-old who gave up his high-flying legal career to support Harris as vice president regaled them with the tale of how they met and how she then became the stepmother to his kids. I love you and I'm so proud of how you're stepping up for all of us, Emhoff said. And he said their personal history showed she was ready to be the country's first female commander-in-chief, which would make him its first ever first gentleman. Kamala Harris was exactly the right person for me at an important time in my life. At this moment in this nation's history, she is exactly the right president. Harris posted a picture of herself on Air Force Two, watching him speak while she returned from a rally in Milwaukee. Love you, doggy, she wrote. And just before we get into the just before we get into the entertainment headlines, we have some New information regarding the Alice Guo companions. Wesley Guo, the brother of dismissed Babang Mayor Alice Guo, has already left the Indonesia. Indonesia, according to Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission spokesperson Winston Casio on Thursday. The former mayor and her siblings Wesley and Sheila, as well as son Cassandra Ong, left the Philippines last July, according to authorities. However, the former mayor's sister and Ong were arrested in Indonesia, as reported earlier by Interior Secretary Benjamin Abalos Jr. Yesterday, when we received the report that Cassie Ong and Sheila Guo were already in the custody of Indonesian immigration authorities, we also inquired about the whereabouts of our two other persons of interest. Apparently, the brother Wesley Guo is reportedly in another country, which is still undisclosed. Former Mayor Guo's sister and Ong are set to return to the Philippines from Indonesia around 5 p.m. Thursday, August 22, which is later. And now let's get into the entertainment showbiz now, as filmmaker Benedict McCue set the record straight on the scene from the film Lolo and a Kid, where child wonder Erwin Michael Aleta flashed a middle finger before he was stopped by Joel Torre, as he irritated that it's part of the script. One of the scenes in the hit film showed Kid responding to another child's teasing by flipping the proverbial bird, but this action immediately gets a reprimand from his Lolo Marel Torre. Many viewers claimed that scene was unnecessary and should have just been omitted, as it might send a damaging message to children. This was addressed by Aleta's mother Crystal on Facebook on August 12, pointing out that the bad finger scene was a requirement of the role being a street child, and that Aleta even struggled to bring it to life. Miku then explained that the scene was part of Aleta's character and was retained in the script. During an intimate media gathering in Quezon City on Wednesday, August 21, the film director was also all praises for Aleta, both for his acting and his kindness behind the scenes. And that is it for koolNews at 4. As always, you can get in touch with us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. Until then, I'm Cairo, and we will see you later for more headlines with koolNews at 6. Goodbye for now.